In today's video, we're going to be introduced to the term slope. Now, the slope of a line measures the steepness of a line, and how you calculate the slope is by calculating what the change in the y values are over the change in the x values. And we got introduced to this in our last lesson with the constant of proportionality. Same concept goes here. So these numbers are represented by the constant. These are actually called the constant of proportionality for each of these problems. And to calculate the slope, we're going to use this number, and as a fraction, we're going to use the term rise over run to graph the points on the line. Since all of these lines will start at the origin right here, where the x-axis meets the y-axis. Then once we make our point from the origin, we make the next point by using the rise over run term. So this would mean it goes up 1 to the right 3. So let's graph this. Now, we're going to use the tools on the side here to create our points and draw our line. So the first thing I'm going to look at is right here. I want to change the color of the points. I'm going to make the first one orange and make it a little bit thicker, I would say right around there. And I want to fill in the shapes. Okay. So that's only one step. Okay. Then we want to create circles, so I make sure I have a circle that's a different color, that's a little thicker. All right. So I start at the origin. Bam. There's 1 point. Now to make the next point, I have to go up 1 to the right 3, since it's a positive slope. Up 1 to the right 3. Bam. Up 1 to the right 3. Up 1 to the right 3. Bam. And keep going till you can't anymore on the grid. So now I've made my nice points. Now to create a line, I want to change the thickness. I'll probably do it thinner here, a lot thinner. Don't have the same thickness. And then instead of the scribble function, I don't want you to draw it with your finger. I want you to use the line function. This makes a nice straight line connecting all the points. And make a little arrowhead at the end. And then also label it. So it's letter A. So I'm actually going to scribble that in with my finger. A. Bam. Okay. So again, use the rise over run, the change in the y values, over the change in the x values. That's how you calculate the slope of a line. So this one goes up 1 to the right 3. And all the problems we're going to be doing today have a positive slope. So they're going to be going up and to the right. And so you ask that question, what if it's negative? Well, you would go down and to the right, just like you're reading a book. You read a graph like you read a book from left to right. All right, so let's look at B. Y equals 3/4 x. I'm going to change the color since it's a different line. I'm going to make this one blue. All right, a little thicker again for the dots. I got to make my points first. 3/4. So again, start from the origin. Up 3 to the right 4. Up 3 to the right 4. Up 3 to the right 4. And up 3 to the right 4. But I can't go any further there. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Change the thickness again. Make sure it's a line, not the scribble function, and connects those points. And I'm going to go back to scribble and label it B. All right, and now the last one. Again, change the thickness for my dots. I'm going to make this one pink. Now this one's not a fraction, so you rise over run. To write a fraction as to write a number as a fraction, I might just scribble this in first. Maybe let me change this this thickness here. I'm going to scribble this in. And instead of y equals 3x, it's when you write 3 as a fraction, any number, whole number as fractions over 1. So it's the same thing as y equals 3/1x. So you're actually going up 3 to the right 1. You have to go to the right 1, or else it'll be a vertical line. All right, and a vertical line, all vertical lines have the same slope. All right, so now, again, back to, I'm going to change the thickness and create my points. Okay, start at the origin. Bam. Up 3 to the right 1. 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 And I keep going up 3 to the right 1. All the way to the top. I can fit that one in. Change the thickness of the line. Make sure it's not the scribble, right? Yep, line. Connect the dots. There we go. Arrowhead. Beautiful. And I'm going to scribble in. That's C. All right. Nice, clear, different colored lines, all labeled with the nice letter using the rise over run, the change in Y over the change in X, the rate. Okay. Another term you'll hear for slope is rate, or rate of change, just like we learned last lesson with the unit rate. Okay. So these problems have all positive slopes. We'll eventually get into doing problems with negative slopes, and also problems that don't have the y-intercept at the origin, doesn't start at the origin. So that's it for today's lesson. Thank you for watching, and remember, whether you're solving for X or Y, always give math a try.